So, welcome everybody who is joining us live and everybody on the YouTube live replay. This is a very exciting time. My name is Katherine Jamison. I am the owner and founder of VibroSound products and VibroSound healing. And this is our very first webinar that I will be hosting a series of webinars discussing all things vibroacoustic therapy, sound therapy, as you can see in the background. Our whole house is filled with wonderful different instruments. And today's main instrument that we will be discussing is my very favorite, vibroacoustic therapy. So we've got a little presentation for us to go through today. Voila! So, vibroacoustic therapy. As you can see here, we have a little sound lounge. Today's seminar, I really thought it would be an amazing time to share a little bit about the background and the history of myself, of VibroSound, and where vibroacoustic therapy has originated from. The science of how the sound therapy tracks that play throughout the devices actually work, the technology and the applications for use for a range of conditions and also a range of different modalities who may be interested in implementing vibroacoustic therapy within their holistic health practice or just simply within their life. So a little bit about me. So I started VibroSound in 2019 after a long journey of discovering what healing looks like to me, discovering sound. If we go right back to the beginning, I started studying classical music in high school. I studied classical piano, clarinet, and I actually topped the state for music and music extension in high school. So music was always my jam. I was really right into the theory and understanding the very technical aspects. And then moving forward, I always knew that I wanted to do a career in sound and music, and I never knew how that was quite going to fit. So I went to UQ and I started studying Bachelor of Music. And in that time, I realized there's so much more to music than just the classical theory side. I started beginning to compose music, and I found as I was playing the piano and composing different tunes, something very beautiful was happening inside, and I was actually able to alchemize any, I guess, dense emotions or pain or any traumas that had happened throughout my life were really coming to light in a way that felt very visceral and healing to my body, as well as on the plus side, it actually made very beautiful music. So I now have a Spotify channel, which actually just hit 4 million streams yesterday, which is exciting. If you look up Piano Jane on Spotify, I'm about to release my 9th album of neoclassical piano music. Albums that are very, if you listen to them, a lot of them are quite emotive. So if you find that you need to access stored or stagnant emotions, go and listen to Piano Jane, and I'm sure there's a track that you can find yourself in and sit down with some headphones and go on a journey. So after studying that, I actually was diagnosed with endometriosis. And for those of you who don't know, that's just a chronic pain condition. So I lived a lot of my life in absolute chronic pain. Starting from the age of 12, I would black out due to the pain, and then as I got older and older, the pain was becoming more severe, where I was actually in pain 3 weeks out of the month, spending regular trips going to the hospital. I had surgery, so there was a real chronic issue that was surfacing in my life that made me unable to function. I couldn't really work or hold a job, and it was a very hard time for me. So on the process to coming and founding VibroSound, I actually had to go through, I look at it now as initiations and experiments into an alternative form of healing. Because at that time, modern medicine said endometriosis is incurable. You need to take these medications, there's nothing we can do, and the medications made me feel sick. And I think a lot of people see themselves in a similar narrative of finding Western medicine is amazing for what it has to offer. Surgery, fantastic. However, there are other elements and a more holistic and vibrational perspective that you can take around health that allows you to feel in control and allows you to feel empowered rather than a victim to the system and a victim to this disease. So on my journey, I went and I did a yoga teacher training. I studied Reiki 1, 2, and Masters. I did emotional anatomy training at Soul Space in Brisbane. And in that time, I was putting together a different framework for healing, and I was healing myself. And over that course of those experiences, I found myself moving to San Francisco and studying sound therapy with the David Gibson, the Globe Institute of Sound Healing. So I just want to give my gratitude to every single teacher that who has taught me and given a little bit of information to take me here. And this is what I hope to do, is to pass on information that I've found on my journey and to share with other people. So yeah, I moved to San Fran, I did sound therapy training, I came home, and I realized that there were actually no vibroacoustic therapy companies. Go back for a second. I came back after having a wildly amazing experience on the vibroacoustic lounges at the back room of the Globe Institute. Every morning I would walk an hour into school through the city, and I would find myself laying on the vibroacoustic table and having such incredibly healing experiences, because at that time my pain was quite severe with endometriosis. It was grounding, it was calming, and I was very surreal in terms of, it was a very spiritual experience at the same time. So the music really took me to another place and another dimension, which I really resonated with and appreciated to deepen my meditation. Also about myself, if you are interested in learning any of what I've just discussed, I teach crystal singing bowls, tuning forks, vibroacoustic therapy, Reiki 1, 2, and Masters, and also advanced multidimensional energy healing. So if you're interested in learning more throughout this, just shoot me an email and we can discuss. So when I came back to Australia, I said to my dad, this is Colin. He builds all of the lounges. This is my partner, Will. This is our baby, Cyrus. I said to him, can I please have a bunch of cash? I really want to buy a lounge. And he said to me, no, why don't we build one? Because Colin was an aircraft engineer throughout his career and then the Dean of Aviation Australia over in Saudi Arabia. He moved back, and in 2018, we started building the first prototype of the sound lounge, which I used on myself. And then I was having incredible healing results, and I used with my clients for about a year. And I kept having dreams of putting different frequencies into people's bodies. And I realized this is something that needs to be shared with other people. This is something that needs to be accessible to people who don't necessarily have a whole background in music therapy or music theory or composing. And I really want other people to be able to experience this. So over the course 2018 to 2023, we have gone through several different prototypes of our now VibroSound products. And we now have 9 unique vibroacoustic therapy devices, at training, and over 40 sound therapy tracks. So going throughout this, I hope to inspire people to become interested in alternative forms of healing, as I now no longer experience endometriosis. I don't have any pain. I just had a baby, which they said would be really crazy. And I lead that up to meditation, sound therapy, and energy healing. So if there's a positive note for anyone out there, it's that I truly believe that you can heal from anything that's going on. If you have the will, there is a way. And definitely taking a new perspective really helps for solidifying a new way to perceive your health. So that leads us to my intention for VibroSound is to share sound and energy and vibrational medicine as a new way to start perceiving the body. That working through the Newtonian system, the body operates like a machine. The organs are independent to our emotions, to our thoughts, to our life's experiences, where vibrational medicine says, hey, there's actually a biofield and there's actually other information that could be informing our physical health and harmony throughout our system. So VibroSound is here to provide high quality therapy devices and soundtracks for you to explore another perspective of health. So as I just said before, vibrational medicine is vibrational therapy or energy healing given to frequency medicine, the mind, body, spirit therapy, looking at the whole person. So this is things like homeopathy, energy healing, qigong, Bach flower essences. There's a whole bunch of different vibrational medicines and sound therapy. Obviously, people are pretty into the quote of everything is frequency, vibration, and energy now, which is an amazing way to start understanding why vibroacoustic therapy would be a perfect addition to your health routine and your care. Everything is in a state of vibration. Scientists found that inside our cells is not nothing. It's actually pure energy, pure potential energy. And inside our body, inside every single living thing is consciousness. And this is the experience of life becoming aware of itself. There is a matrix or a grid of source energy, of chi, of ki, of prana that flows throughout everything. And our bodies actually have a blueprint of health and well-being. And disease is just a state of disharmony, dis-ease, and everything is in a state of flux. So when I started to heal from my endometriosis, I started to realize the body is consistently breaking down and reforming. I'm never the exact same person every single day. I'm always in a state of flux. And if you think about that, everything has to break down to be reformed. And if you're shifting the subtle vibrations and the vibrations of the cells, the vibration of the water, the quality of your thoughts and emotions, slowly but surely you break down and you reform, you break down, you reform, you can retune and reform yourself into a completely different thing. So everything is vibration, and that is the basis of vibroacoustic therapy, and a way to be able to perceive health is but a vibration of healing and harmony. Right here is a beautiful visualization, Water, Light and Sound by Journey of Curiosity. I highly recommend you plug Jacob into Instagram and have a look at all of his images of cymatics. It's a beautiful study of sound and how it affects matter. In this case, typically water, which our body is 70% of. So different frequencies moving through the body, shifting the resonance of the water and the cells. If you see here, I love this. So this is the resonance, and this is how sound is generally affecting the cells. As I said before, this may be a diseased cell, but if you're applying the right conditions, the right energetic field and makeup, and the right vibrations and frequencies, you have the ability to retune your cells. If you've seen Masaru Emoto, through speaking to your water, it can change the structure of the water. Sound and words, it's all sound. So, great question. What is vibroacoustic therapy? So, vibroacoustic therapy is you have a device, a lounge. It's essentially low frequency sound waves. So, this is around Olaf Skill is the originator, not the originator, the indigenous tribes understanding and ancient Egyptian culture understanding vibration and frequency medicine. But in more recent times, in the 1970s, 80s, low frequency sound waves delivered through tactile transducers, which pulse the frequencies directly into the body. So as you lay atop the lounge, hundreds of different frequencies are coming into the body, vibrating the water, reaching the bones, reaching the cells, reaching the molecular structure, moving energy up and down the body, and also reaching your biofield. So the same music, if you can see here, this is our lounge. The same music, this plugs in to your device, You choose a track. It plays throughout the bed, panning up. This is a vibro pillow, producing the vibrations permeating throughout the body. And then you can plug the headphones in. So the same music plays throughout the device and the headphones, fully cocooning you in sound. It's truly an amazing experience. If you've been to a sound bath and you feel the sound, I always say this is like having 1,000 tuning forks placed on your body. It's an amazing feeling. So psychoacoustic versus vibroacoustic sound. Vibroacoustic sound for VibroSound utilizes both. So psychoacoustics is the way that we perceive sound. It's the audible sound, the perception and audiology of how we perceive various sounds. So going to a sound bath, you're using your psychoacoustic senses and probably a little aspect of your vibroacoustic senses if the floor is vibrating. But yes, we use psycho and vibroacoustic sound. The origins. I think it's always nice to understand where a modality has derived from. So Olav Skill said to a friend in 1968, how does sound and music affect the physical body? He then went and made the first prototype of a device using transducers. I think it was just a reclining lounge, because he was actually working with children in the handicapped era, and he found that the low sound vibrations coming from a speaker were actually really soothing to the children. He said bass frequencies are more relaxing than sharp treble sounds. From 1980 onwards, the concept developed, and then they actually had 40,000 hours of experience using different frequencies. He developed 7 main frequencies that he played throughout his devices. Unfortunately, he died last year, which I was so sad about, because I was really excited I found an interview with him and I wanted to interview him, and then I found out he died just last year. So obviously much gratitude and thanks to the originator of vibroacoustic therapy. So this is him, and this is a little message. His kind of ethos. Vibroacoustic therapy gives the whole body a massage. Organs in the body that we cannot reach with traditional methods are accessible via low frequency vibrations transmitted directly to the body's surface. This is obviously possible because sound waves are quickly spread in water. Sound travels 4 times faster in water, and your body is 70% water. So it's brought to every single part of the body with just this influx of vibration and frequency. This is the basic idea of vibroacoustic therapy. If you can see here, this is kind of an understanding or a visual representation. Our vibration sensory receptors can actually recognize 0.3 hertz to 500 hertz. There we go. Paresthesia, or vibratory sensation, is the body's ability to perceive vibration. This sensation, often conducted through skin and bone, is generated by mechanoreceptors. So there's even a word for our body to be able to interpret vibration. It's called paresthesia. And we have these mechanoreceptors inside the body, these sound receptors, and they are conducted through the skin, the bones. They send a message through the spine, the nervous system, up to the brain. And it's that range of 0.5 hertz to 500 hertz. So we are innately wired to receive vibration. Physics, the law of physics, is inherently supportive of the idea that different sounds can resonate and retune and entrain different aspects of the body and different harmonic structures that make up our body, because everything is sound, everything. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. Edgar Cayce famously quoted, "Sound will be the medicine of the future." So I feel extremely passionate to be able to share my knowledge and science of sound, my composing abilities, and these devices that we have created to be able to offer anyone who is in need of retuning, deep states of meditation, relaxation, fibromyalgia support, wanting to increase your psychic awareness, wanting to ground anxious or depressive feelings, literally retuning the whole body. This is the medicine of the future, and we are really passionately excited to share this. So I think I've gone over a little bit of this, but why is vibroacoustic therapy important for humanity? So Dr. Bruce Lipton famously quotes, "Most illness is just stress from not living in harmony." I think the American Medical Association says that over 70% of disease is simply just living in a chronic state of stress, which is crazy, and also not crazy because stress is such an aggravating vibration to the body. It is so unorganic to harmony. So in opposition, or in a way to support moving away from a whole society being in this space of stress, is utilizing vibroacoustic therapy. One, the stability of the vibrations are actually panning up and down the spine where a large nerve bundle ending is at the base of the spine. So the stability of the low frequency sound vibrations are entraining the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, into rest and digest. And it only takes 2 or 3 minutes to be able to entrain into that slower and more stable state for your nervous system. And when you think about stress, you don't think about rest and digest for your nervous system. You're thinking your fight, flight, freeze, reacting, living in the past, living in the future. Vibroacoustic therapy as a modality brings you fully into your body now. It stimulates an awareness of being in your body. It stimulates your different brain waves and understands that that you can fully experience the now moment through the safety of sound and felt touch. It also supports increasing your immune system. So when you're stressed, this is obviously decreasing the vital energy that is able to flow throughout the body to focus on areas like the cold, or focus on areas where your body is needing extra energy to be able to combat or reharmonize something that could progress into a more label of disease or disharmony through the body. So complete reharmonization of the physical body through hundreds of different healing frequencies, and reharmonization of the energetic body. So the biofield and the energetic body actually informs the physicality. So there's really great research that's been done. Eileen Day McCusack, tuning fork specialist, speaks a lot on the biofield. It's been widely studied. The more that we can be in harmony with our energetic self, the more our physical body is then given the blueprint of how to behave and react and respond. So this is things like releasing the stress from our field, coming into our center, coming into a space where we can respond to situations rather than living in a constant state of reacting to this, and finding what is true to yourself in terms of your intuition, in terms of, do I trust the media? Do I trust myself? Do I listen to external forces, or do I listen to my body when it's feeling unwell and drink that juice or take that vitamin or rest a little more? So vibroacoustic therapy really gives you a space to unplug, even just for 20 minutes, from social media, unplug from your kids, unplug from your work, and plug back into yourself. And in that time, you're given just a break in the consistent cycle of thoughts to be able to think, or not even think, just to check in with yourself and say, hey, where am I at? What could I be doing better? Or having little downloads from your intuition. It's really a whole thing. So I always like to use the reference, the body is like that of an orchestra. So people might say, well, how can sound retune the body? If you picture all of your different systems, you've got your skeletal system, you've got your organs, you've got your lungs, you've got your blood pumping around the body. The body has a sheet music, which is the matrix or the field of health that I was speaking about, that informs life to grow, that informs the trees to grow in a certain structure, sacred geometric shapes everywhere. The body has sheet music, which is the picture or the sound of health. When you are completely healthy, all of your different organs, your systems, they are playing the right music, they are playing the right tunes. When we become distracted or stressed, one of the systems or let's say that the lungs are like the string section, or the heart is like the guitar or the clarinet. When one of the systems becomes detuned and out of sync with the rest of the music, the vital flow of energy isn't able to continue to course through the body, and things become a little off key. You know, when you feel a little bit funky, or if it's the famous saying, I feel a little bit flat, sharp musical relatives. So we can actually send the right sheet music or the right signals. We are electromagnetic beings. Sound is a mechanical wave. We can send the right signals back to the body to reharmonize, retune, and come back into a harmonic resonance. Say we're using the lungs again, they can reharmonize, and the energy can keep continually flowing up and down the body, playing the most beautiful tune of health. So how does the technology of vibroacoustic therapy, and namely VibroSound technology, work? What is happening inside the devices? Because right now I think it just looks like a lounge, and a lot of people when we're at show days are like, cool massage table. So inside are these little cool things called tactile transducers. We use 3 different types of tactile transducers. Our advanced lounge has the highest quality tactile transducer on the market. So these transducers are kind of like bass shakers. They don't emit music as such, they emit pure frequencies, which are then felt as vibrations. These sound waves are traveling through, and this is a cool imagery, traveling through and pulsing hundreds of different low frequency sound waves throughout the device. These frequencies are then felt as vibrations, which are spreading throughout the waters of the body. So if you imagine laying on the lounge, feeling all of the vibrations come through. The great thing about this is they don't just go through the water. The sound actually travels through the water, which is then relaying, depending on the amplitude, the strength, information and sound frequencies straight to the muscular systems, to the skeletal system. And as sound is both physical and energetic, it has the ability to retune and reharmonize the biofield. So as you're laying on the lounge, the physical vibrations are being spread. If you think about dropping a stone in the water and seeing the waves come out, sound also works similarly to that. As I speak, different sound waves are coming out of my body. That's what's happening on the sound lounge. As Olav Skill said, the great thing about vibroacoustic therapy sound waves is that it can reach and relax muscles and the lymphatic system, places where regular massages cannot. So if you turn up the strength of the vibration on the lounge, it's able to reach these hard to get spaces. And the sound goes straight down into the cellular and molecular structures. So with different frequencies, specific frequencies, we're able to retune and restructure through the concept of resonance, actually cellular structures. Certain frequencies have the ability to increase cellular metabolism. So if you see here, this is actually a screen grab that I took from when I make the music. You can see here we've got 1000 hertz, 800 hertz, and this is the vibroacoustic range, this 30 to about 500 range. But we've also got these upper frequencies. I've cut off this other section, but there's a lot going on. As you lay on the lounge, the stable vibrations are actually stimulating the vagus nerve, which is the cranial nerve that comes down the body and actually touches all of the organs. So you're really giving the whole body a massage in so many different ways. And as I said before, the laws of physics dictate a stronger vibration entrains a weaker vibration. So if you think about every single thing you experience as a vibration, does anxiety or stress feel like a strong and stable vibration? Or does it feel, what happens to your voice when you're anxious? Does it feel like an incoherent or inconsistent vibration? It's when your hands become shaky. The lounge literally entrains the firing of your the synapses of your brain, your nervous system, and the longer that you lay on it, even just 10 minutes. I've definitely felt extremely anxious before and laid on the lounge for 10 minutes, and I feel grounded, and the firings, the electrical pulses, the electrical pulses are being grounded and stabilized. Vibroacoustic therapy has actually also shown really amazing effects for brittle asthma and other types of asthma as well, which you can read more about on our under the science on our website, or there's a lot in our training that we go over for specific conditions and vibroacoustic therapy. As we all know, simultaneously to laying on the lounge, you listen to the music. Different soundtracks have different moods and create different emotional responses. So the music itself that I compose is a total journey, and some of it's very galactic, some of it's very earth-based, there's always a track that you can find that suits you for a specific need. And as you listen to these sound frequencies, different rhythms and different pulses, either from the crystal bowls or specific pulses that I've tried to create, will actually shift your brain waves. Has the ability to synchronize the left and right hemisphere of the brain, which is a state that we are in when we have an epiphany, or when we are in a deep state of meditation, kind of just this ecstatic understanding and awareness where the two hemispheres actually synchronize. So that's a very powerful effect of sound. So what are the devices and how can they be used? We have 9 different devices. Firstly, this is Colin. He hand builds them all in his warehouse on the Gold Coast. Thank you, Colin. We have 3 different models of the lounge: the home, the standard, and the advanced. We recommend, if you're using the lounge in a professional capacity, the advanced lounge gives off 20 to about 800 hertz. So there's hundreds and hundreds of frequencies going into the body. And the body frequencies are, this is Alfred Tomatis' work, frequencies are like nutrients. So you need all the nutrients, eat the rainbow, to live a healthy life, to feed the enzymes moving through the body, cellular reproduction, all of the different things that you take. You need all of the frequencies to also survive and to thrive. So the advanced lounge has the highest frequency response range. So we recommend using the advanced lounge when working with clients. That being said, the standard and the home are still delivering vibration, stability, and frequencies to the body. Here we have our VibroSound Mini. This is something I like to just place in the room. I've just created an inflow package, which is 10 soundtracks, 5 guided meditations, and it's based for women who experience endometriosis, PCOS, painful periods. They have flare-ups, they feel ungrounded, they have depressive mood swings, PMS. I just know how much it helped for me, and I've curated specific guided meditations that you listen to and you feel the healing vibrations, sending energy, moving the decreasing the inflammation through the body. Sound is a great anti-inflammatory effect, and also stabilizing the nervous system. So you can put that on your room, your heart, on your back. That can be found on the website, or send me a DM if you'd like to talk more about painful periods. We have the Vibro body pillow. So this is almost like a yoga bolster, and all of the vibrations and frequencies are coming out through here. Something that's nice to cuddle or straddle or do yoga with, or just have in bed to wind down from the end of the day. Maybe you're trying to move away from screen time at night and you just want a space to be held in the sea of sounds. This is our lumbar cushion. I love this cushion so much. I use it when I am at work or working. The vibrations pulse directly into the body. You can use it with or without headphones, and we've actually created it with a curved lumbar shape to support the back and to create just a comfortable working environment with sound and frequency and vibration. We are really aiming to get vibroacoustic therapy into the corporate wellness space across Australia. So if this sounds like something you would like to introduce to your staff or want to take it to your team, reach out and we can discuss the unique tracks that are being made for focus, for study, for productivity. Not every soundtrack needs to be some deep meditative state. Different rhythms can actually fire you up and get you pumped up. So different music for different experiences go throughout the devices. This is the double pillow. So this you can place on your back, you can cuddle. This is my favorite one. I think it's the most versatile. And we just created a pet lounge. So this is our puppy Socks, who is extremely frightened through storms. And we just place him on the lounge. I put in my Violet Flame track, and it is extremely calming in storm time. If dogs have anxiety, separation anxiety, if they're unwell, trying to heal, decrease inflammation for the body, there's a whole range of benefits for pups as well. As you're experiencing it, the sound waves are traveling directly into your body and throughout the space. So how does vibroacoustic therapy work technically? So this is a lot of people's questions, and all you need to do is simply, it looks like a lot because there's chords, and I understand most people say to me, Katie, I am not tech savvy, and I respect that and I understand that. And being a small family business, we are here to help in any way that we can. So first steps first, you have an amplifier. Different amplifiers come with different devices. For this amplifier and all amplifiers, you start by plugging it into the wall. And then at the back of the lounge, as you can see here, there's two ports that plug directly into the back of the amplifier. There's two ports here. One is for your device, which is playing the music. The same music plays throughout the lounge that plays throughout the headphones. And there's a port directly at the back of the bed to plug in your headphones, so you're not dealing with cords coming from every which way. As I said before, there is one soundtrack that plays from the phone, the laptop, into the device and into the headphones. That's Will there chilling out. How are the healing tracks made? So this is probably the most important aspect, because with a device, it's not really going to do much healing if the music isn't very healing. So we've consciously tried to make a very healing environment, merging the science of sound, understanding how sound can indeed, and specific frequencies and amplitude levels and duration of intensity of the vibration. There's a whole concoction of how sound can heal the body. So I've merged my understanding of sound with my composition abilities to create vibroacoustic therapy tracks. So this is me here, use a variety of live instruments and healing frequencies, and I also channel energy throughout my body as I'm composing the tracks. This is me here. I use it from my laptop. William is engineering all of the tracks as well, mixing and mastering. Here he is. This is our program Logic, where all of the files are coming into. It's always nice to see behind the scenes. And as an extra layer, William goes out and he records all of our nature sounds. So tuning into the frequency and the energy and the rhythms of nature, he uses an amazing technique by taking the nature sounds as you first listen to the nature sounds, and then 2 or 3 minutes in, he actually slows down the sounds of nature, and you begin to entrain to this deeply hypnotic sound of rain or water, and then you slow it down again, and by the end of the track you find that you're taking much deeper, slower, longer breaths. You find that your body is almost grounding down into the earth. Your spirit is lifting out of your body. You're in a state of complete relaxation, connecting to the consciousness and the life force energy of earth and all the different sounds that nature brings: birds, waterfalls. So you might like to know specifically how I create the tracks. So I'll always choose a topic. So let's say that we're talking about my 528 healing grief through reaching for the light. 528 hertz is one of the solfeggio frequencies, and I use a lot of solfeggio frequencies. I really, really love them, and I really believe in their efficacy to work through the body just by using them on myself. 417, 174 hertz for pain relief, I use a lot through having extreme pain when I had dengue fever and also endometriosis. So I start with a certain frequency, and I will take that frequency and I will use all the octaves. So that's called the resonant frequency of the track. I then choose different instrumentation that is going to emit a certain tone or a timbre. So a clarinet will have a very different tone or timbre to that of a drum or a gong. So a gong is a very activating tone, whereas a harp is a very calming tone. A crystal bowl can be a very activating tone. A lot of people don't necessarily love the crystal bowl because sometimes the frequencies and the amplitude is so intense that it becomes activating, unless you're using a conscious awareness of rhythm and energy and intention. So I'll choose a frequency, I'll choose a whole range of instruments. Often I'll record my crystal bowls as I channel the intention through. So I connect into source, I channel a certain color frequency through my body, I connect to different beings, and I channel pure love or healing grief through reaching for the light. I just hold the intention in my heart and I channel those healing frequencies and energies through the sound waves. I then choose specific chords or intervals. So healing grief through reaching for the light actually starts in a very major space, but through sound, you can find yourself and you can process deep emotions that you don't have to through speaking. In sound, we can find a space for us to completely let go and be absorbed and vibrate and connect with the chords that are being offered. So healing grief through reaching for the light goes into a very minor chord progression, and these chords and intervals are chosen very specifically to elicit these responses. About halfway through the track is a peak, and the intensity rises, and typically people find themselves, I guess, emotionally releasing or having a little cry. And that is the best thing that you can do, because if we're walking around with all of the traumas that we've experienced, all of the sadness, all of the pain, and we don't learn to consciously release these emotions, these energies, emotions are emotions, energy in motion, by being able to find space to release the hardships of life or transmute these feelings, we're given a space to find equilibrium again and to find acceptance and understanding of things that we couldn't process in our everyday waking life. Because you definitely are in an altered state of consciousness listening to sound. Then I choose different, this should say different rhythms or musical flows. So that's the speed of the music. Is it fast? Is it slow? Does it speed up? Does it pull and push? Does it take you on a journey? And then I think this is obviously the most important aspect. Everything that in life is guided by intention. Intention is the driving force behind consciousness. It is how things are formed. When you have a clear and solid intention and you channel the energy through your body, it is what makes a piece of music stand out from anything else. It's the electricity that you connect to and you feel alive, or you feel met, or you feel deeply engrossed to the point you forget that you're a human, or you have a little travel outside of your body like we do in dream state. Sound is a transportation tool. So it's also a very spiritual experience and allows you to explore different memories, different aspects of your consciousness. So I thought it would be really cool to show you what frequencies actually play throughout the lounge. So right now, as you can see, a crystal bowl really only emits one main frequency. This one is a Larimer crystal, G sharp, and that's emitting around I would say even that's about 417 hertz. So that's just one frequency. So when you're going to a sound bath, you're really only getting maybe 10 to 20 different frequencies. This next aspect is the gong. Gong's not going to work for us today. This is the chimes. So you can see there's a lot more frequencies happening with the chimes, maybe mainly in the higher octave. This is the Tibetan bowl. See how pure those frequencies are? This is the didgeridoo. I don't know if it will load. One moment, please. Sadly, we cannot see. Basically, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of frequencies are playing throughout the body as I begin to layer all these different instruments. So when you buy or when you invest in a vibroacoustic therapy device, you may spend money on a crystal bowl and have frequencies, and crystal bowls are incredible. You can also buy a mini and invest in hundreds of different frequencies, different instrumentations being played directly into the body. I've actually composed now over 40 different sound therapy tracks. We have Divine Feminine Healing, we have 741 Detoxify, we have Cellular Rejuvenation, we have Heal the Endocrine System. And if there's a specific need that you may have, contact me and I can create whatever it is that you feel necessary for your body to play throughout your devices or just to have as an audio version only. So sound in different conditions. The goal of sound is obviously it affects every single level of our functioning. It feeds energy to the cells, increases cellular metabolism, it clears blocked energy, it shifts the vibration of the water within your body, it assists in elimination of toxins, stabilizes the nervous system. So this is things like depression, anxiety, fibromyalgia. There's a really amazing study that I'd like to share with you. Fibromyalgia and vibroacoustic therapy. They took 19 women, they gave them 2 sessions over 5 weeks. I think it was 30 minutes, 23 minutes at 40 hertz. So 19 women, they started to calculate their pain, their mood, their range of movement, whether their sleep was affected, and here's what they found. Significant improvements were observed for the sleep scale. 81% of people improved sleep. 49.1% reported a decrease in their pain. 73% of patients had their medication doses for fibromyalgia reduced. And after 5 weeks of 2 times a week, which is not very much, 26% completely discontinued their medication, which is amazing if you think about a chronic pain condition in 5 weeks of use. I guess for myself, I know how powerful it was for my own pain. So pain relief is a really great side effect of vibroacoustic therapy. Range of motion increased from 25% to 75%, while muscle tone changed from hypertonic to normal. So they're really quite statistically supported results for fibromyalgia. If you're interested to learn more about different case studies, we have a vibroacoustic therapy practitioner training. I'm super excited about this. I love to connect with people one-on-one. Inside the course, you will learn about the science of sound, vibroacoustic therapy, understanding different frequencies and the effect on the physical body, on the emotions, on the mental body for certain conditions. You have access to 15 Sound Lounge tracks that I have created. There are 5 guided meditations that come with the training, and you get 6 Zoom sessions with myself to discuss and create protocols of how you could implement this with your clients, or if you just want to do it for fun, to learn how to reharmonize your life. What better way to start now for a vibrational medicine perspective for the rest of your life? This is certified training, and there are over 80 modules to study. So we'll go and see if there are any questions that anyone has. I'm just going to stop sharing and jump into the live chat. Do we have any questions about vibroacoustic therapy? Aha, okay. Is there one frequency that's better than another frequency for vibroacoustic therapy? So I would just like to say there is no miracle frequency for vibroacoustic therapy. As I said before, your body needs a whole range of frequencies to really access different parts of the body. Your skeletal system and your bones vibrated around 24 to 48 hertz. So this is one of the more dense parts of the body. If you're working on strengthening your bones and your spines, you want to focus on the lower frequency range. If you're working on clearing an emotional block, it's going to be a series of frequencies, and it's going to be about the whole structure of sound itself. So that's the harmonics, the instrumentation that's being used, the musical flow, the journey that you are taken on. Olav skill uses 40 hertz. A lot of study is done around 40 hertz for pain relief, 174 hertz for the solfeggio frequencies. There's a whole series of frequencies that are going to be working on different aspects of the body. So there really isn't just one frequency that is the best to be utilized for a blanket use. And we are actually approaching the 1 hour mark. So I want to wrap it up here. But for anyone who's watching on the replay, I want to say for the YouTube viewers, feel free to ask any questions in the chat below, or even if you would like to schedule a chat with me, I'm here to talk all things vibroacoustic therapy, vibrational medicine, sound. And I hope that I've given you an insight to how to incorporate vibroacoustic therapy into your life, why you would be using this type of modality, and to really inspire people to start utilizing sound now to support your life going forward. So thank you for your time, and I'm here and available to chat at any point. I hope that you've learned something, and see you for the next series of our Sound Health webinar series. Goodbye.